Boatworks Today is sponsored by Total Boat and Alexseal Yacht Coatings, as well as supported by the generosity from the beautiful folks over on Patreon. Thank you so much.
Oh, I hope this does not end up being an expensive mistake. So, happy Friday, everybody. Hope you all had an awesome week. Now, I'm just going to jump right into it. So, last week, I posted this over on Patreon, but last week I had an opportunity to travel to Charleston, South Carolina, to spend some time with the folks over at Alexseal at their main training center, headquarters, main plant, here in the U.S., whatever you want to call it. And the main reason for that was that it's not new this year, but it came out in 21, but they recently came out with a new line of paint that I knew absolutely nothing about. And I've been getting a lot of questions about it, saying, would this be a better fit for my project versus like their 501, or, what paints would be most applicable for the project that I'm trying to do here. And since I didn't know anything about it, I couldn't really give them a good answer one way or the other. So talking with the folks down there, they said, well, why don't you come on down? We'll set the training center aside, kind of open it up for you here. And then you can spend the week kind of playing around with our material and just kind of running it through its paces to see what you think. And I thought to myself, that sounds like a pretty good idea. So that's where I went. So I left on Monday afternoon. So I got there Monday evening, and then it was kind of a quick trip. And then I turned around and left at the ass crack of dawn Friday morning at about 3 o'clock in the morning. So after some back and forth talking with those guys, trying to figure out what it is exactly that I wanted to accomplish while I was down there, it quickly became evident that the equipment that I use here for recording both video and audio was completely inadequate when it comes to having to take it with me for travel. Now, this is where things get a little comical. So just for a little perspective, let me show you what I've always used in the past. Now, granted, this equipment is about 12 years old, and, well, it's seen much better days. So I'll apologize for the audio up front. That's still a work in progress. But so as far as the audio side is concerned, on my old setup, this is the mixer and the wireless receiver. And then over here, I had the main camera. Now, as you can see, like I said, it's seen much better days. It is just covered in epoxy and resin. The buttons are sticky. And half the time, to be honest, trying to get the SD card out of the back here, well, that was pretty much a crap shot whether it was going to cooperate or not. But just looking at the size of it and just kind of how bulky everything is, trying to load all that up and take it on an airplane, it was not going to happen. And to be honest, because that stuff is so old, again, when you're talking about electronics, anything that's, any really older than 5, 6, 7 years old, let alone 12, it's pretty much a relic. I'm surprised it still works with everything that's been through. But nonetheless, I kind of felt that it might be worth, trying to future-proof things and just kind of upgrade now before it completely craps out on me and I'm dead in the water, screwed. So I bit the bullet and I upgraded, and here's my new rig. Now, like I said, the audio part, this is still a work in progress. I need to figure out how to get my wireless stuff hooked up to this. But for right now, this is going to have to be, well, adequate. Hopefully it's working. Now, while this new rig is very portable, it is a lot more camera than anything I've ever used in the past. To say that there's been a learning curve just trying to learn how to do the basic things, switching from video to picture, is like the understatement of the year. Now, keep in mind, I think I already mentioned this, but I had gotten this rig about 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave for my trip. So, in the meantime, once I got it, I'm like, well, I'm expected to know what the hell I'm doing while I'm there. So, for those 2 weeks, I was recording or trying to anything and everything that I could, whether it's my daughter's softball game, my dog running around the yard, anything and everything I could get pictures of, I could take video of. I was trying to do it just so that I can learn all the controls on here. So that kind of brought up an interesting dilemma once I tried to actually unload from the camera onto my computer. So this one, I'm recording now in 4K. Evidently, this thing can also do 8K. I don't know why I would ever have a need to do that. But again, future-proofing, kind of things moving forward. So trying to get the video from here onto my laptop, right? So that process in and of itself seemed to be pretty straightforward. Plug the card into the computer, try to transfer it. Now, evidently, 4K video, the file sizes are massive, way much bigger than what I was recording off of my other camera with. So plug it in. I try to transfer from the card onto the laptop, and no exaggeration, to do a 2-minute clip, it took almost an hour just to transfer it from the card onto the laptop. That's not even doing anything with the clip. That's just strictly transferring it over. And to put things into perspective, a typical video, I'll probably have 2 to 3 hours worth of stuff that I need to kind of sort through, kind of cut and splice, piece together, and try and put together into like a 15, 20, 25-minute video. So kind of, looking at that 2-minute for an hour kind of a transfer, if I had to do that on here, it would literally take me a week just to transfer it onto the laptop, and then, trying to actually edit it. It wasn't going to work. So, interesting dilemma number 2. So now that I've got this, the new camera, I have no way to actually work with the footage that it's recording. So I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. Buy once, cry once. So my laptop, again, that's another thing. It's a bit of a relic. It's 8 or 9 years old now. And on laptops, that's just ancient. So I'm not surprised that it couldn't handle it, but a little disappointed. So anyways, spec out a new laptop, get that in, or get that ordered and get that in. Now we're up to about 2 days before I'm supposed to leave for my trip. And I have yet to be able to transfer anything from here and actually edit it and export it and see how it turns out. So this video here, this is kind of like the trial run, is so to say. Hopefully this is all working. I'm looking at picture quality and the audio. Again, I'm just kind of working on the onboard mic here. Let me know if it sucks. I'll probably be able to tell when I'm doing the editing, but how much does it suck? I guess, let me know. So anyways, so I get the new laptop. Again, now I've got to update everything, transfer everything over from my old laptop onto the new one. It's just been a whole process. So, but the night before, I finally got all that done, got everything packed, and then I shot down to Charleston. And when I was down there, the main point for going down there was to look at their new line of paint. I think it's their Acrylic X. And I'd heard a lot of good things about it, but all I knew was the information that was available on the TDS, or the technical data sheets. I've never seen a can of it. I've never worked with it. I didn't know anything other than what was, on literature. So at least for this video, I'm not going to get into the details of that product. I'm gonna save that for the videos that are going to be coming up. But I will insert some footage here so you can kind of see some of the things that we were playing around with. Now, just kind of as a warm and fuzzy here, we did a roundtable Q&A as far as kind of some specific questions when you're talking about their paint, any of their paints. Also got into the whole mixing, the spraying problems as far as getting your gun set up, and also we painted 3 boats. I think I did two of the 3. I think I did the white and the blue one, and then Miguel did the red one. Kind of got that whole red, white, and blue thing going on. I thought it was pretty cool. And everything turned out absolutely amazing. But like I said, I'm going to save the details on that for an upcoming video, which is going to be probably the next week or 2, give or take, providing I can get this, stuff sorted out. But with that said, I'm not going to go on about this. This is kind of like the dry run or the test run to try and see if I can get everything to work together nicely, start to finish. And I have yet to actually be able to do this with this new gear. So, but I did want to check in because it has been a couple weeks since I've been able to post anything, largely due to this stuff, trying to figure all this out. But hopefully, if I can get everything figured out, from this point forward, then things should be back to normal. But with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. So as always, have a great weekend, and I will see you again very, very soon. Oh, one other thing. If any of you all have experience with the Canon, the R5, that's what this is. As far as different settings for optimizing the video and sound quality, and specifically trying to get my wireless mic hooked up to this without it sounding like a friggin' robot, let me know down in the comments. I need the help. So anyways, again, have a great weekend, and I'll see you again very soon.
This has been a Boatworks Today production.